All right, or I am ready whenever you are.
All right. Imagine being told that you weren't allowed to live somewhere because of facial features or body features, and that you were killed because of a certain way that you looked. Innocent dogs are being put down simply because they are categorized as pit bulls every day. Breed-specific legislation should be abolished. I want to discuss with you today why breed-specific legislation is wasting time, money, and negatively influencing our culture. I recognize that we have different perspectives on this issue, and I hope to address your concerns. I understand that one of your main concerns is that pit bulls are primarily responsible for multiple attacks, and you think that banning this particular breed, we're making our neighborhoods and environments safer. However, it is not this simple. By banning the pit bull, we are actually banning many other breeds that are not in fact pit bulls at all. By banning a breed, it is much more complicated and causes many more problems that we may not initially consider. Here we'll talk about how most pit bulls categorized as pit bulls are not actually pit bulls at all. Something you may not know is that pit bulls is not specifically a breed. ASPCA, an animal advocacy group, clearly describes that pit bull is actually a combination of American Staffordshire Terrier and American Pit Bull, or any other bully breed mixed together. Since implementing this law, we as a society have begun to overgeneralize pit bulls. According to AVMA, a professional veterinary group, they show a recent study that explains even people very familiar with dog breeds cannot reliably determine the primary breed of a mutt. The behavior of dogs that look a certain way are being judged every single day just because they're pit bulls. Enforcing breed-specific legislation can be quite costly. The American Humane Society, an organization that speaks out on the abuse of children and animals, discusses these financial burdens that BSL has caused. BSL is enforced by animal control agencies on tight budgets, expanding duties without necessarily expanding their budget. Additionally, many rural areas do not have funding to establish and effectively run an animal control division. Costs include animal control staff to enforce laws, the kennels awaiting breed determination, court time, and cost expert testimony in veterinary care. As an example, one county in Maryland spent over $560,000 maintaining pit bulls. This is not including payroll, cross-agency costs, and utilities. As a result, such costs, many cities have considered repealing or have repealed breed-specific legislation. In Maryland's case, the task force found that while the county spent more than $250,000 each year to enforce the ban, public safety is not improved as a result of the ban. It is important to understand that not only BLS is costly, but it isn't reducing dog attacks in areas that it has been implemented in. AVMA educates us to understand that all dogs can bite. Any dog can bite regardless of its breed. And more often than not, people are bitten by dogs they actually know. It's not the dog's breed that determines risk. It's dog's behavior, general size, number of dogs involved, and the vulnerability of a person bitten that determines whether or not a dog will cause serious bite injury. Dogs can be aggressive for all sorts of reasons. A dog that's bitten once can certainly bite again. And a dog that's never bitten could still bite. Don't rely on breed stereotypes to keep yourself safe from dog bites. A dog's individual history and behavior are much more important than its breed. And since you don't always know a dog's history or behavior, it's not good to make any assumptions. What we need to understand is that BLS is not solving the issue. I understand many of you fear pit bulls because of stories we've all been fed by the media. I at once was influenced as well, until I adopted my first dog, who is a purebred American Pit Bull Terrier. In Medina, Ohio, a boxer dog was shot dead by an officer, according to News 5net. The local media covering this story portrayed the dog as a vicious pit bull who charged a police officer who was responding to a complaint call on sound. After the dog was shot to death, it was later discovered that this dog was a purebred boxer and a new mother only protecting her babies. This is only one story of thousands of stories that are portrayed over media every single year that are not true. They're lies. I think the most popular story media has recently covered in the last 5 years pertaining to pit bulls is the dogfighting ring that was once ran by Mike Vick. Many assume, along with myself, that these dogs probably got put down after the dogfighting ring was found. But according to Washington Post, U.S. District Judge Henry E. Hudson ordered each dog to be evaluated individually, not judged by stereotype of the breed. Of the 49 pit bulls, animal behaviors experts evaluated in the fall, only one was deemed too vicious to warrant saving and was euthanized. More than 1 year after being confiscated from Vick's property, Leo, a tan muscular pit bull, dons a colorful clown collar and visits cancer patients as a certified therapy dog in California. Hector, who bears deep scars on his chest and legs, recently was adopted and is about to start training for national flying disc competitions in Minnesota. Teetles takes orders from a 2-year-old named Gracie. Richmond, who lives with cats and sleeps with 4 other dogs. These are only a few of many remarkable stories of the character of pit bulls' rehabilitation to save family dogs, serving a positive influence in helping others every day. Like I stated earlier, media at one point in time has influenced my view of pit bulls as well. I started to watch a dog show called Dog Whisperer. This was about a famous trainer named Cesar Millan who went into real-life situations to retrain and rehabilitate dogs all over America. In almost every episode, Cesar Millan, the famous trainer, would use his own dogs to train other dogs, and his favorite dog to use was his pit bull. This led me to research the truth about the breed, and then brought me to my first dog, an American pit bull.
Mm-hmm.
After adopting my first dog, I realized that they were the most loyal, loving dogs you could have. I'm a full-time nanny, and she comes to work with me every day, helping me look after and play with the kids. We go to the dog park every day, and never once have I had an issue with her. I've had her 3 years, and I've never seen a vicious bone in her body. Now that we understand that pit bulls are safe and the breed itself isn't the problem, we can see that simply banning the breed doesn't address the concern of safety. We do need to reduce dog attacks, but the better solution is to educate and train people and not get rid of the soil breed. Something we should ask ourselves is, what happens to the owners of guns, autoplanes, boats, if they do not complete the legal requirements to be an owner of an operator? What happens if they're negligent with these items? According to Examiner.com, a company dedicated to providing the inside scoop, explains that although dogs are not machines, the result of untrained animals owned by untrained owners being allowed to run freely in public areas have resulted such as these situations. HumaneSociety.org does a great job explaining that dog bite incidents will decline when all dog owners are given access to critical services such as veterinary care, spaying, and neutering. Resources and education is what's going to help minimize dog attacks. We can all see that breed-specific legislation is like slapping a Band-Aid on an issue, but not truly getting to the root of this issue. We need to get to the root of the issue and stop wasting time, money, and resources on a law that has proven over and over again to be ineffective. It is time to stop stereotyping innocent dogs and to be educated on the breed. It is time to stop killing innocent dogs and penalizing responsible owners, making them move or give up their loyal family dog for lies spread by media. It is time we truly understand how wonderful pit bulls really are.
Thank you.
I forgot that that picture was on the whole time.
All right.
Not really.